Honestly, the hardest part about healing is having to choose yourself because the world will tell you that you're selfish for doing so. Have you ever felt guilty for choosing yourself while everything else around you is crumbling and falling apart and everyone is going through something in the world feel like it's ending? And honestly, the truth is, you do have to choose yourself, especially when the world is crumbling around you, because if you can't feel safe in your world, then where else can you go? And truly, it's yourself. So in this video, I will be talking about how to feel safe in healing and choosing yourself when the world says not to. So like always, I will be looking at my phone because I'll be writing my notes down and I want to make sure I don't forget anything. So, and the first thing we're going to talk about is why does it feel wrong when choosing yourself, especially when things around you are not stable? Whether it's with politics or your personal life or the environment, climate change, all this stuff. Why does it feel wrong to be like, hey, I know all this is going on and the world is ending, but I think I'm gonna choose myself. I hate to make it awkward, but I think I have to choose me. And you know why it feels weird and awkward to choose yourself is because we're not taught to believe that choosing yourself is also choosing others. You ever heard the saying where when you heal yourself, you're healing others? It is true, but it's not explained. It's not promoted. It's not something that people are like, yeah, you should do this. Because when you choose yourself, that also comes with consequences, whether they're good or bad. And that's just with anything you do in life is going to come with some type of consequence. And it could be scary when you're the only one on your team rooting for you. Or you're the only one on your team who's like doing the work, but everybody wants to reap the benefits. And so when you finally take that leap of the healing journey, it's hard to do it when nobody else is doing it with you, because that can come with jealousy, envy, guilt, shaming, all this stuff where people would start projecting what they don't do for themselves onto you and make you feel guilty for doing it for yourself. Like they say, misery loves company. People just don't like to see other people happy, especially if their life is not happy. And so it feels good to have people you can talk crap with. It feels good to have drama around you. It feels good to see somebody miserable just like you, even if you're not willing to actually admit it to yourself that feels good to you. But if you're around it, you must like it, especially if you're not choosing to better your situation. So it could be hard to stop doing those habits, stop doing those patterns with people or with yourself, because it's asking for you to get uncomfortable in order to be comfortable. How do I know that choosing myself wasn't selfish, and how I protected my growth in doing that? I realized I wasn't being selfish because since I was bettering myself, I was being able to show up better in my relationships, in my life, in my environment, all this stuff. I was able to show up better. And in doing so, I have now better relationships with people. I have better people in my life. I have a better environment. And so that's when I knew, oh yeah, choosing myself actually was not selfish, because when I chose myself, I was able to show up better, which allowed me to show up better for others. And so it's like an even energy exchange where both people are benefiting, whether the other one realizes or not, but you are in a good place to be with yourself, and so you can be a good place to be for someone else. Until I realized that how I was protecting my growth, honestly, privacy. How I protected my growth was becoming more private about it and not blaring it to the world or to even the people in my life. Privacy is protection. Sometimes we want to share so much because we're learning so much, we're growing so much. And so when you start learning and growing and becoming better, your heart chakra starts opening more and more. And sometimes when we don't have boundaries, that could be dangerous because you're giving out very, very vulnerable and sacred information that you've learned through your experience, whether it was from the creator or from your spirit team or from yourself. And you're giving it off to people who either are not on your journey or that information was not meant for them. Because sometimes it's just for you to know and not everybody else. So what are some small ways that you can create safety within your healing journey The first way you can create safety is, like I said, privacy is key. Second thing is being very compassionate with yourself, making sure you have a lot of affirmations. Definitely recommend is creating some type of affirmations, whether it's making a list of affirmations, having it on your lock screen, your home screen, even putting it on your mirror. You can also even have an object, whether it's maybe a good luck charm or a book or something that would remind you on why you even started your healing journey, and have it close to you. Reminders are really good to create safety and knowing that what you're doing is for the best. Another safety tip is finding a grounding practice, whether it's yoga, walking outside, touching grass, going in the water, like being somewhere where you feel planted within the present moment. I would highly recommend already having that practice going, because that will help you throughout the healing journeys, and also will help you when stuff gets real. And then the last thing I would recommend to create safety within you is taking breaks. Taking breaks are really good, and they can allow your nervous system to monitor and be at a balance. Also, healing can be living your life. You're also still learning even when you're not actively doing healing practices. And just to go back to like what guilt and shame I felt when I started my journey, and then when I started putting up boundaries and just ways of creating safety for myself, the main guilt that I got was the feeling that I was like hiding something from people. I'm not saying it's good to hide stuff from them, because it's not, but it's good to sometimes filter what you're doing or how you're going about certain things when it comes to healing, because it can get very opinionated, and it can honestly discourage you very quickly, because it is your journey. Whatever you're meant to experience, you're going to experience. How you're going about things and who you're telling, and kind of filtering out what you're saying, because it's also a form of boundary, is filtering out what you're saying, being aware of who you're talking to, and will this benefit you in the long term. And then another guilt was that I wasn't going the religious route. Like I wasn't going to church, and I wasn't on my knees praying, I wasn't reading the Bible. There was a lot of guilt in that, truthfully, because all I kept thinking was, dang, I cannot go to hell. I just felt a lot of guilt, because I was like, oh my God, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Like a lot of just self-doubt started to come in, and also just the fear of being damned. Revisiting was that religious fear, and that's a whole other video I can get into about helping people with that. If you want a video like that, comment below, because I would love to do it, honestly, that I had. And then the biggest shame I had was kind of like this little voice in my head was like, who are you to be better than anybody else? Like, why do you deserve to better yourself, better your situation, be a better person when everybody else is not doing it? And that one was just, first, the need to always want to bring people along with me when I'm doing better. Also the want of, we're naturally healers. So when we start to heal, we want to heal others, but you can't heal someone who doesn't want to be healed. Realized that I didn't think I deserved it better. So it was a lot of stuff I had to work on towards that, because that shame went really deep from childhood. Yeah, those were the certain things that I had to create boundaries within myself. So yeah, I promise you those thoughts won't last forever. They won't. And going back to what I was saying too, where I was like, when you heal yourself, you're healing others. And you must be wondering, well, how is that true? How does that work? When you heal yourself, how does it become a collective healing? Us being alive is sometimes the inspiration to someone else. Literally us admiring someone for who they are, whether it's through their work or what they do, is admiration. And so sometimes we don't realize that we are our own admiration to someone else. And so when we start bettering ourselves, we are also creating like an inspiration for someone, whether they tell you or not. What you do that a person don't do for themselves, they can be inspired to do that for themselves. So by them being inspired by you is helping themselves either choose to heal or grow more in their healing journey. So that's how it becomes a collective healing, because once they do it, now they become an inspiration to someone else. So it becomes like a ripple effect where it's just everybody's starting to do it. Changes are a collective healing. When you see changes in yourself and you do it and people see those changes, that is a collective healing, especially when they're positive changes. So you just simply showing up differently is creating a healing effect, because is either having people to look at themselves differently or look at you differently or even look at the whole situation differently. And once we're able to open our mind more and more to the bigger picture, that is a healing effect. Making sure you're also compassionate and understanding with yourself when you are doing something you've never done before, and choosing ourselves is something we have to do for ourselves and it's very new. So be mindful that it's not one day you wake up and you're like, yep, I choose me, and you just stick with that. That every day you have to choose yourself. You have to wake up and say, okay, I'm going to choose myself, and this is how I'm choosing myself, and create a plan, create a routine. When you start creating routines on surrounding this topic of I choose me, it will become easier and easier to choose yourself, and it wouldn't have to be something you have to remind yourself to do. And yeah, so no matter how chaotic this world may become, choosing yourself is the most safe thing you can do. So start today, so that tomorrow it can be easier. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe and support the channel and all that good stuff. And yeah, thank you for being here. Love and peace, y'all.